Have you ever noticed that the most dangerous part of your day happens before your feet even touch the floor? I am talking about that split second right after your alarm goes off. You open your eyes, and for a microsecond, you are a blank slate. You are just existing. But then, it hits you. Whoosh! The heaviness, the deadlines, the arguments from yesterday, the mental to-do list. Scientists call this the cortisol awakening response. Your body literally floods with stress hormones to prepare you for threats. But in the modern world, it does not feel like preparation. It feels like waking up on a battlefield where you are already losing before you have even found your slippers. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken. You are just stuck in a neurological loop. Today, I want to share the story of a man named Michael. On paper, Michael had it all. He was 35. He had a stable job as an accountant, and he had a decent apartment in the city. But the reality inside his head was a different story. For years, Michael woke up angry at the world. He was trapped in a cycle of dread and doom scrolling until one chance encounter at 5:30 a.m. taught him a simple secret. It was not a magic pill. It was a specific 5-minute protocol to rewire his brain. In this video, we are going to break down exactly how Michael used this method to change his life in just 30 days, and how you can do the exact same thing starting tomorrow morning. Stay with me, because we are about to retrain your mind. To understand the solution, we first have to look at the trap Michael was in. Psychologists often call this the "I will be happy when" trap. Michael spent his days telling himself he would be happy when he got a promotion, or when the weekend arrived, or when he had more money. But he was living in a simulation of future problems instead of the present moment. His girlfriend, Sarah, was actually the one who diagnosed the issue. She told him that his negativity wasn't just a mood anymore. It had become a skill. He had practiced finding the downside of every situation so often that he had become an expert at it. The breaking point came when Sarah told him she could not keep waking up next to someone who hated waking up. That night, Michael could not sleep. At 5:30 a.m., instead of lying in bed with his intrusive thoughts, he went for a walk in the park. That is when he saw him. There was an elderly man sitting on a bench feeding the birds. In a city full of people rushing and frowning, this man was just sitting there, smiling at nothing in particular. Michael sat down and asked him the question we would all want to ask. He said, "You look genuinely happy. How do you do it?" The old man laughed and said something that changed Michael's perspective forever. He said, "You think happiness is something you find, like a coin on the sidewalk. But it is not. Happiness is something you practice." He explained that Michael had spent years training his mind to see problems. Every morning, Michael practiced negativity, and now he was an elite athlete of unhappiness. The old man used a simple analogy. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every morning, you have a choice of what seeds to plant. If you plant seeds of worry, fear, and complaint, that is what grows. If you plant seeds of gratitude and awareness, that grows instead. Right now, the old man said, your garden is choked with weeds because that is all you have been planting for a decade. Then, he handed Michael a small, worn notebook and gave him a protocol. This is the important part. This wasn't just advice to be positive. It was a strict neurological intervention with 3 specific rules. Rule number 1. You must write in the notebook before your feet touch the floor. This is crucial because you have to catch your brain before that cortisol spike hits and the battlefield mentality takes over. Rule number 2. You must write before you check your phone. The phone is an input device that floods you with other people's demands. To change your brain, you need to be in creative mode, not reactive mode. Rule number 3. This is the secret sauce. You must write 3 specific things you are grateful for. You cannot write vague concepts like my health or my family. The brain treats those as data, not emotion. You have to write sensory details. The old man showed Michael his own list from that morning. It read, 1. The way the sunlight warmed my face through the window. 2. The smell of coffee brewing. 3. The neighbor's daughter waving at me. Tiny, microscopic moments. Michael agreed to try it for 30 days. Now, I want to be honest with you about what happened next, because real change is not a movie montage. Day 1 was terrible. Michael woke up at 6 a.m., and his hand automatically twitched toward his phone. It was muscle memory. He had to physically force himself to grab the notebook instead. He felt stupid. He wrote down, "I woke up, the bed is soft, and Sarah is here." He felt absolutely nothing. By day 5, it was still a struggle. He was writing things like, "The coffee was the perfect temperature," but the background radiation of misery was still there. But then came day 12. This is where the neuroscience kicks in. Michael was in a frustrating meeting at work, the kind of meeting that usually ruined his day. But suddenly, he noticed the sunlight hitting a water glass on the table, creating little patterns of light on the wall. He thought to himself, "That is actually really beautiful." And then he thought, "I will write about that in the notebook tomorrow morning." This is what scientists call the Tetris effect. Because Michael had given his brain a task to find 3 good things every morning. His brain had started scanning his environment for positives instead of threats. He was no longer just passively receiving his day. He was actively hunting for the good in it. By day 17, the transformation was visible. Sarah noticed he seemed lighter. He was noticing the sound of rain and the shade of green in the trees. He wasn't ignoring the bad parts of life, but they were no longer consuming 100% of his attention. On day 30, Michael went back to the park. He sat down next to the old man and showed him the filled notebook. Michael said, "I did it. My life hasn't changed. I still have the same job and the same commute. But I have changed. I see everything differently now." He told the old man that he didn't realize how much joy he had lost until he started finding it again. The old man smiled and told him the joy was never gone. It was just buried under the weeds. Michael asked what he should do next. The old man said, "You keep going forever. You do not brush your teeth for 30 days and then stop. This is hygiene for your mind." The lesson Michael learned is the one I want to pass to you. You cannot always control what happens to you. You cannot control the traffic, or your boss, or the news. But you can control where you place your attention. And where you place your attention determines your experience of life. 6 months later, Michael still writes his 3 gratitudes every single morning. It has become as natural to him as breathing. Now, I want to be very clear about this, because this is where most people get the wrong idea. Michael still has bad days. He still gets annoyed at traffic. He still deals with stress at work. We are not talking about becoming a robot who smiles while his house burns down. We are not preaching delusion here. But the difference is that the bad days no longer consume him. He has a tool to navigate them. He knows that no matter how difficult today is, his brain is already tasked with finding 3 seeds of light for tomorrow morning. The old man in the park was right. The joy was never gone. It was just buried. So, what does this mean for you? It means that the heaviness you feel in the morning is not a life sentence. It is a habit. And habits are just neural pathways. You have spent years planting weeds of anxiety because they plant themselves automatically. You do not have to try to be worried. It happens on its own. But flowers you have to plant manually. You have to choose them. You cannot think your way out of this pattern. You have to behave your way out of it. So here is my challenge to you. I don't want you to just watch this video and nod your head. I want you to act. Tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to do 2 things. First, take a physical notebook and a pen and place them right next to your bed. Do not use your phone. It has to be analog. Second, take your phone charger and plug it in across the room. Make it so you physically have to get out of bed to reach it. Break the tether. Then, tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor, before you check a single notification, open that notebook. Write down 3 specific things from yesterday. Remember the rule. Not vague concepts. Specific sensory details. The taste of your dinner. The sound of a song you like. The feeling of cool sheets. Do this for 30 days. Day 1 will feel silly. Day 5 will feel forced. But give yourself the chance to get to day 12. Give your brain the chance to start the Tetris effect. If you commit to this practice, I promise you one thing. You won't just change your mornings. You will change the architecture of your mind. Not because life gets easier, but because you get better at seeing the good that is already there. If this story resonated with you, let's start the practice right now. Drop a comment below with the first small thing you are grateful for today. Even if it is just that you have internet access to watch this. Let's fill the comments section with light stones. Remember, life does not get better by chance. It gets better by choice. And that choice begins the moment you open your eyes tomorrow. Wake up grateful, stay patient, keep growing.